Hey guys, it's Robin, and this is my TBR for Create Your Own Readathon, which just kicked off in my time zone. It's about, I think it starts at 9 in your time zone, and it's about 11 now. I'm kind of 2 hours behind schedule already. But, yes, so this is, what am I reading? My goal for create your own readathon is to read Deon Meyer's. Okay, you can't see that properly because it's kind of, yes, that's better. Okay, so it's Deon Meyer's Die Frau in die Blauwe Mantel. I'm not even going to try to translate that, but I think it's about a woman in a blue cloak, and he writes thrillers. He's a South African author. I live in South Africa, and I've been looking forward to this for some time now, so I'm quite excited to get to read that today. It's quite thin, so yeah, I'm hoping to just get into it. It's Saturday morning and just read. Oh my goodness, I've been on such a reading slump. It's like every book I read just, yeah, even the ones I like. Like, I really like Name of the Wind, and I've been reading it, but for some reason, I just can't remember why I started reading this book. And I was so excited about reading it, but now it's just, yeah, I don't know why. Excited. Okay, so the book is, I actually bought this without reading what it's about, which is something I do a lot. Okay, so first up, this book is in Afrikaans, and I haven't read Afrikaans in so long that it's kind of weird. Like, the words look weird, and I just figured out that it's about these people in Cape Town. They've been stealing portraits that portray women with like blue clothing. So paintings that have women with blue cloaks on. They've been stealing those for some reason. And there are these three detectives. One wants to get married, and the other one has other plans, and the other one has other plans. And I'm guessing they're gonna have to solve the case. But there's also this woman's body who they found, or they're still going to find her body. There's a body, and it's kind of been cleaned out, and I guess it's going to be one of those who did it mysteries, which I'm looking forward to because I like those. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so I'm like in chapter 2. None of this is spoilers. It's all in the blurb. So it's in the synopsis, so it's not really a spoiler. So they find this woman. Her body was on like a little wall on Solari's Pass, as on the N2 as you leave off the N2 as you leave Cape Town to go towards the Eastern Cape. And she was like laying there in the dead of night. She doesn't have any clothes on, and her body's kind of been placed there very strategically. And then this minibus taxi. So a lot of people are driving past because it's a busy road. And yeah, people going home or coming home. Anyway, so a lot of people have passed her, and I don't know, for some reason no one stopped. But just before like sunrise the next day, a minibus taxi, of all things, a minibus taxi. So a taxi comes by. Only non-South Africans call these things minibus taxis. We just call them taxis. Anyway, so the taxi drives by, and it's like one of the taxis coming from the Eastern Cape to Cape Town, and it has like all these women are in there, and what happened? Yes, so the driver gets out because he like needs to do some stuff, and one of the women sees this body on the wall, and she just like freaks out. All the other women, there's like 13 of them, they all freak out, and the driver's like, I am not about to get involved in this. I have work to do. So he wants to like get back into the taxi and just go about his business, but the women are like nagging him to call the cops, to at least, you know, have the police know that something's going on up there before they leave. And if you've ever been in a taxi with a bunch of women from the Eastern Cape, you'll know how, even women from wherever, yeah, you'll know how loud it can get. Poor taxi driver. And then once he calls the cops and the cops are on their way, they're like, no, but now we can't leave this woman out here in the cold all by herself. Like, she's dead. And I'm feeling sorry for the poor guy because there's really nothing he can do. And he just wants to go about his business. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, who is this woman? So far, none of the characters have names. There's been a guy who got a blue cloak and he's running to Delft because people are chasing him and hunting him. And then there's this woman on the wall, and there's a... See, now the translation is a problem because a leopard wyfie. A leopard, yes. So it's like basically female leopard person, not person animal. So there's leopard, there's this guy with a blue cloak running away from someone, and there's, well, the blue cloak isn't his, he stole it. And there's the woman on the wall, the taxi driver, and the women in the taxi who are, you know, coming to Cape Town to make a better life for themselves. Yes, exciting stuff. But seriously, I feel very sorry for the poor taxi driver. Oh, and now the women are actually, they're having like a little service. They've gathered around the body and they're like singing songs, and I can even I'm like trying to imagine what songs they're singing. It's so cool. They're like singing songs around this body. And yeah, it's just like so like home. Because that's what we do. We don't just leave a dying body right there. No, we gather around it and have a church service. Okay. Hi. So we finally meet the detectives who are probably going to be solving this case, and they're not police officers. They're with the Hawks. Yeah. And what happens? Oh yes. So the ones wants to get married, his name's Benny, and the other one's Vaughn, Cupido. But like whenever I read his dialogue, I'm picturing the dude from like Sheridan from Big Palace. I'm like picturing his voice. I have no idea what his real name is. I should probably Google that. Anyway, the one wants to get married. Yeah, that again, not a spoiler. It's in the synopsis. The one wants to get married, and the other one has a girlfriend. So Penny asks his colleague to go ring shopping with him, but instead of going to an actual place because Benny's broke, they go to a pawn shop in like a cash converter place in Goodwood. So while they're there, someone brings stolen goods to the shop, and there's like the whole police chase thing that you live for when you're reading one of these. So there's one of those. But now, like, when everything's done, eventually, like, the one guy, Benny, he gets on a bike, he takes the bike out of the shop, and then he chases down the suspect. And then eventually when he gets back, Vaughn is like questioning the owner, trying to figure out why, like, the criminals are bringing stolen goods to his shop, and because they're cops, so they're trying to make it look legit or whatever. And then Benny comes in, and the shop owner's like trying to get Benny to tell his colleague that, you know, his business is legit. And the only thing Benny can think of is, like, how much for that bike? Like, seriously. These two, they're just so funny. And I can't wait to hear what they have to say about the case that they still need to get to. Yes, but it's a novella. I'm really enjoying this. It's so good. So, an update in case, you know, you're watching this and you're interested. So, they finally found out who the woman was. She's this. Who's the woman? She's like an international tourist person. And she's on vacation in South Africa, in Cape Town. But she works at an art restoration place someplace in London, and she's like a double tourist, which is why. Not a double tourist, what the heck is that? Anyway, she's a tourist. And yes, so the media's having like a field day with this whole thing, and the Hawks have taken it over. So they're investigating the case, but what happens? Yes, so the Benny guy and his friend Cupido, they're investigating the case. They find out who the woman is. She's a tourist, an American living in London, and she works at an art restoration place. The color blue is like everywhere in this book, obviously. There's this guy right in the beginning who's running away and being chased, and he steals like a blue cloak. But I have a feeling that he's like the bad guy. He's the guy. That's just my prediction. I like spoiling things for myself, and then I see if I was right, to see how awesome my detective skills are. And so he has this blue cloak that he stole, and then people are chasing him, but that's like a flash forward, which I kind of like, because you get to see the plot advance while it's still developing. I kind of like that idea. So there are these two storylines with the guy who's running away in Delft, and yeah, that's where he's hiding, in Delft. And now these cops, the dudes from the Hawks, are investigating the case. So that's the current timeline. And this lady, yeah, they're still investigating. So this lady was at a hotel in Cape Town, and they figured out who she is. And blue, yes. So there are these blue paintings that have been popping up, and apparently someone's looking for the woman in blue, which is the title of the painting, of like a really old painting. That's all they say. They're just like, word on the street is that there's a lot of money to be made in this painting of the woman in blue. So my guess is that she came to Cape Town, the lady who got killed. My guess is that she came to Cape Town looking for that painting, and that she was going to go to a place, and that she was looking for this painting, and that somehow, while getting all mixed up with trying to find the painting, she actually got killed. That's just my prediction. I don't know yet. I'll let you guys know when I find out, if you even care. Whatever. Enjoy your Saturday. This whole thing is actually making me want to watch White Collar. It's giving me like Neil Caffrey vibes. And the plot thickens. So they have a suspect. Finally. But I'm not sure if the suspect's actually the bad guy. And Okay, they have two suspects right now. The person at the painting and the bad guy. Oh, by the way. Okay, so this section contains spoilers. Yeah, so if you intend on reading this book at some point, don't continue watching. So plot twist that I could not have seen coming. Major plot twist threw a spanner in the works and in one of my theories. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's so good and it's close to the end, so I can't wait to see how it ends and who did it.